Earlier today, I did a point of order in the House of Commons to put the record straight about the false rhetoric being peddled out by some members of Parliament saying that I have requested that the British government pay for an airport in Mirpur. We all have a right to represent our constituents. We have over 1 million British Kashmiris living in the UK. UK is their home. They have very strong roots and family ties with Azad Kashmir, and we have requested that the Pakistani government provide assistance for that airport. Not a single penny of it has been requested or demanded by the British government, and I wanted to set the record straight. On 28th of March, I shared on social media the work I and colleagues across the two houses have been doing to urge the government of Pakistan to build an international airport at Mirpur. This is an important issue for over 1 million British Kashmiris who overwhelmingly come from there and face delay and danger whilst travelling from Islamabad to Mirpur. The reactions to that post, including from some members of the House, have resulted in us being subject to Islamophobic, racist attacks and harassment.
That was Tahir Ali, MP, who had called in Parliament for the Pakistan government to fund an international airport in Mirpur in the Kashmir region of Pakistan. It caused so much of a fuss that, as you see, Mr. Ali was forced to clarify his position. It's not entirely clear that he didn't demand or expect some contribution from the British government, but in this particular speech, he is saying he is not. However, you may well ask why a British MP is asking the government of another country to make it easier for British citizens to travel to that country, and I suppose the answer to that is, in the way Mr. Ali has referred to Kashmir Azad, of which Mirpur is the main city, as being in the motherland. Wow, the motherland. It's almost as if the United Kingdom isn't his motherland. Well, you do notice a slight accent in his English, although he was born here in 1971, which possibly means he spends more time speaking Urdu than English. And as I say, it's almost as if the United Kingdom isn't his motherland. Gosh, I mean, it's almost as if the United Kingdom is a colony. I'm Granniopteryx. I'm on YouTube, Rumble, BitChute and Minds. All right, well, a lot of you know that I like maps, and so we've got another map. Mirpur is here. And Islamabad is there. And if you get a plane, you get it to Islamabad, and then you have to spend, according to this, if you're in a car, 2 hours and 29 minutes. I can believe that a train takes more time. I was interested in Mr. Ali mentioning that people face not only inconvenience and a long journey, but danger getting to Mirpur. Now, I don't know about Pakistan too much, but I do know that if you're getting a train from London to Edinburgh, which is, maybe about the same distance, nobody would actually say that though people might be inconvenienced by such a long journey, danger isn't one of their considerations. And I wonder why he talks about danger there. Anyway, it turns out that Mirpur is the main city in a sort of backward part of Pakistan, and that Mr. Ali has a large constituency from that area. Actually, it's probably more than that. I'm guessing that it's his whole voting base. And with no international airport, that area is difficult for his constituents to visit relatives, which it seems they have enough financial resources to do. Good for them. Now, I'm just asking a question. Obviously, Mirpur is not the best place to get ahead in the world. And so people have come from there to the UK to give themselves and their kids a better life. And obviously, they're having some sort of financial benefits out of this because they're going to Mirpur for visits, which means, a plane trip from Britain to Pakistan is probably not that cheap. And one does wonder why they're trying to make their neighbourhoods resemble Mirpur, whence they fled. Just asking. But let's get back to Mr. Ali. He wants Pakistan to build an international airport in Mirpur. And although an airport has been promised, according to Mr. Ali, Pakistan has been dragging its feet on this. I can think of a couple of reasons for such tardiness. Firstly, Pakistan is corrupt as all hell, and the people in Mirpur here are possibly not rich enough nor in the right family clans to exert enough influence to get the Pakistani government moving. Which it can do when it needs to. It spent nearly $7 billion on a railway from Karachi to Peshawar. Now, I do have a map of that as well. Let's find it. There's Karachi down there on the coast, and there's Peshawar up there in the north. This is Pakistan. So they're blowing nearly $7 billion on, I think it's just a minute, what is it? Yeah, nearly $7 billion on the railway line somewhere along here. Most critics have agreed that this doesn't benefit Pakistanis all that much. And it has $7 billion is just about the same budget as the entire education and healthcare budget, at a time when the Pakistani government is something like $30 billion in debt. So who's going to use that railway? Well, it's great for the Chinese. If they can get their stuff to Peshawar here, you see, along from this area here, and then they can get the train, this is the road. I'm assuming the train will be a bit straighter, but they can get the train all the way to Karachi and to the cargo ships, or vice versa, of course. That's quite convenient for them. And I'm quite sure that a lot of money must have changed hands for the planning permission for that. But judging by the state Pakistan is in, it doesn't look like it's gone into the public purse, really. All right, well, back to Mr. Ali. He and some other MPs sent a letter to the Pakistan Prime Minister saying that an international airport would boost economic development in the area. It might. It might also fuel calls for independence from the rest of this failing state. This area here is disputed, and it's currently administered by Pakistan. But the hold is tenuous, and I suppose there might be concern in the Pakistani government that this part of Kashmir might even consider throwing in their lot with India, which is marginally better run. If I were the Prime Minister of Pakistan, I'd be thinking about that quite a lot. I'd also be thinking that there are probably more Muslim radicals here in the UK than there are in Pakistan, and who wants to improve communications for them? OK, so to get back to what Mr. Ali actually said, apart from him calling Azad Jammu and Kashmir as the motherland in other situations. Let's be clear, he said he was calling for the airport to be funded by Pakistan or some sort of private enterprise, all Pakistan based. And this leads me to the question quite a few others have been asking. If this is strictly a Pakistani issue, why is he bringing it up in Parliament here? Now, as an MP, he is a man of influence, and there's nothing wrong with that, and nothing wrong with him heading or serving with some sort of non-governmental organisation that's trying to raise funds or influence for an airport in Pakistan. There are many organisations in Britain that are trying to do stuff abroad, raise funds or influence governments. But what reason is there for Mr. Ali to bring it up in Parliament if he isn't asking Parliament to pay for it? Meanwhile, his constituency in Birmingham is being overrun by rats because there's a strike going on in which rubbish isn't being collected or disposed of by the council. The Conservative Shadow Secretary of State for Justice, Robert Jenrick, has said that Ali's concentration on a foreign airport shows what he called a damning failure of integration. I'm afraid, like many Tories, he's a bit behind the times there. It's not a damning indictment of integration. It's satellite television that's doing it, together with a sort of lethargy on the part of the British government. There are entire communities of people in the United Kingdom whose bodies are in Birmingham, but who actually live in a colony of Kashmir. They shop in Kashmiri shops, they speak Urdu all the time, and they access radio and TV output only from Pakistan. I have to emphasise something. This isn't their fault. If the British government has no interest in forcing them to learn the native language of Britain, if we spend hundreds of thousands on translation services, if we don't make it a condition of the voting process that the voter has to speak English, then we can hardly blame them for not making the effort. And it's directly because of that someone like Tahir Ali is in Parliament in the first place. He was voted by a block of people, many of whom are simply Pakistani citizens who happen to be living in Birmingham, who don't speak the language and who despise the British way of life, and who harvest votes from their semi-literate women folk in proxy or postal votes. So is the question an airport in Pakistan, or should the question really be, why is the government not doing something about the sociological issues I've just outlined? And is the terrifying answer, well, that it's not the place of a colony to question the wisdom of the motherland, is it? Till next time. You can help my channel by subscribing and clicking the notification bell. That's quite important. And by sharing if you're so inclined. Links to my other channels and to donation methods are in the description. But the best way you can help is simply by clicking like and notify. Thank you.